Alright, Fire Slayer event. This one's a little on the unusual side, but it is what it is. As always, we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. Admiral, this is your support card. I'll do it the right way. At 6 stars, we'll create 6 fire gems and increase your recovery by 250% for 2 turns. That doesn't mean he's going to heal you. He's just going to increase your recovery for 250% for 2 turns. So if you have a healer, the healer is going to do an additional 250% recovery for 2 turns. Passive, of course, is going to be increase intensity by 10% or 10. It's going to dispel panic. Panic just means you won't be able to do gym match quite as fast. It's not too bad. Next will be the ultra rare. Creates 2 firepower gem 2s and attacks for 80,000 attack at a rate of 20,000 plus 20,000% per 100 intensity. This will be a maximum of 300 as normal. This is your healer. Heals for 1% of the attack amount. So 1% of 80,000 is 8,000%. If you're only doing 20,000, then it's 20,000 is 2,000, 200, whatever. It's too late for quick math. No passive ability of any kind. Dispels blind. I've actually ran quite a few Slayer events without worrying about dispelling blind. In fact, the last purple Slayer event that we had, which was for those of you who've been here for a while, this particular Slayer deck right here, this was the Mystic deck. The Ultra Rare is what Dispel Blind. This is the Rainbow deck. I actually ran this deck and was not dispelling blind. It's more of an annoyance than anything. Blind will only affect whoever it gets put on. So if you only get blind on two of your Slayers, the other 3 Slayers are guaranteed to hit, and the other 2 Slayers have a 50-50 shot. If all of them have it, you only have a 50-50 shot for each Slayer hitting. If it's a very, very powerful hit, chances are you're going to at least get some of them through. Event card. I already have him at 5. I'll get him at 6 later. Creates 3 firepower gem 1s and increases a Slayer attack by 300% of the recovery for 2 turns at a rate of 75 plus 75 per 100 intensity. So basically, it's going to take your recovery and increase your attack boost by 300%. So this is going to be a balancing act on how you activate your cards. And it'll also depend on whether or not you get the Ultra Rare. He dispels armor. Since he's going to increase your attack by 300% of your recovery for 2 turns, that's a maximum of 75% plus 75%. So basically, you're going to have to have your intensity at 300% to get that, or your intensity at 300 to get that full 300%. So, with that being said, we'll go up to the Master Collection card, and you'll understand why I'm saying that. Master Collection card is about as straightforward as you can get. Creates 8 firepower Gem 4s. Wow. That's a lot of power Gem 4s. Cost you 50 intensity. This is why I say you'll have to watch the way you do it. Which means he's going to take away 50 of your intensity. So if you're going for maximum damage, you're going to want to definitely do your event cards first, because he's going to take away part of your Slayer intensity you already have built up. So you're going to definitely want to activate the event cards first. I do not see a full event deck working. They are honestly making this to where you have to use other cards to make this deck work. So suggestions. I won't worry about that. We'll just go with fire. I did not see a gem creator or a gem spawner. So volcanic and blazing agro are good gem spawners. My greatest recommendation right now, though, will be the Baleful Bride if you got the ultra rare from the Halloween deck, or the Pumpkin Queen, which the Pumpkin Queen was the standard support card. The reason why I say this is, like in the last event, creates 6 power gems and 4 firepower gem 1s and increases special intensity. That's the passive intensity. So if I remember correctly, every 2 turns. So every 2 turns, she's going to create 6 power gems, or 6 fire gems, and 4 firepower gem 1s. So if you decide that you need some kind of a gem spawner, the Baleful Bride or the Pumpkin Queen both are what I would recommend, because they are also Slayers. So you're going to get that Slayer boost, since the new types are all going to be all Fire Slayers. They're going to increase all Slayer intensity, no matter if it's a special, if it's cursed, if it's a fable. It doesn't matter. The new intensities are for all Slayers. So while she may not hit quite as hard, she's still going to get that Slayer, that slight Slayer boost, and she's still going to get the health boost and all that other stuff. I know that she also will remove all buffs off of enemies. So if you have problems getting armor off or any other type of buff they might put on them, she will dispel that, just like Indasha did in the last event. From the looks of it, you only really have 1 card that's going to be doing that. You might have a few other issues here or there, but the big one is this one's a healer. This one recovers 600%. If I remember correctly, the Baleful, the Pumpkin Queen is 200%. So the Baleful Bride definitely heals a lot more, but the Pumpkin Queen still sufficient. And if you're using the other card, which is going to increase the ability of your healer, that means that this is going to be one hell of a healer card. And so, if I had to choose, this is definitely the card I'm going to run as my extra additive card. as both a gem spawner and a healer, along with this deck. If I do happen to get the ultra rare, or not the ultra rare, but the master collection card in this event. So the way it looks, much like the light deck, Indasha is basically the exact same thing. You would have to wait for Indasha to make her turn, or in this case, the Baleful Bride or the Pumpkin Queen. Once the Pumpkin Queen makes their turn, you're going to want to activate your support card to give yourself the boost of health and create fire gems. Because passive fire gem is more important than having to activate fire gem, especially since this is every 3 turns, where the Baleful Bride's every 2 turns, or the Pumpkin Queen's every 2 turns. So that's going to give you even more power gems. Then you're going to want to activate your event card, because then your event card is going to take all of your recovery that you just got done using in it. Now it's going to switch it to attack boost, increasing your attack boost. And then once you've increased your attack boost, then you'll want to go ahead, if you do happen to get Sergeant Sausage, you're going to want to activate him, since he's going to rob some of your intensity. And that should basically fill your board up with, I'm going to say, a very large chunk of power gems, and you might have the rest of the board pretty much filled up with regular gems after that. Of course, it's going to take some playing around to get everything figured out and get it right, but that's pretty much what I'm thinking. Of course, the relic's going to make a big difference. If you do decide to go with the Pumpkin Queen or the Baleful Bride, keep in mind you already should have a relic that will produce 4 fire gems right at the beginning to help get all of your skills going. So, again, keep all that in mind. If you happen to use one of the dragons, you should hopefully have the Razor Axe, which, again, 4 gems at the beginning. Your other option for dispelling some things, such as, which one was it? Blind. If you really want to run with it, and blind is actually just driving you so insane that you cannot see straight, your only other option you have is Ray. Ray will remove poison, blind, armor, and might on a class 6. So yeah, this is your other option for removing blind if it really bothers you all that much. Battle skill really isn't going to be anything special other than he attacks for 600% plus for every legend intensity. So, but that is another option that you guys have. So that's the breakdown of this deck. Has the potential to be a pretty powerful deck. A little disappointed in the fact that it's a bunch of pigs against a big bad wolf per se. I think we're getting a little crappy on the ideas here, but it is what it is. Now a couple of these cards here. I know Slazy's got this one already in his inventory. I have him at a 5-star, not at a 6, or a 4-star, not at a 5-star, so I don't got the rune for him yet. I've never seen these two before. But yeah, that's the breakdown of this deck. So good luck to all of you.